Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that had symptoms of fibromyalgia, which, if you're not familiar with, is an autoimmune issue that tends to lead to high levels of fatigue, achy joints, and just kind of irritable mood. And there's various things that it has an impact, but really it's an energy drain. There's a feeling of a lack of desire to do more than is necessary because it's either painful or it can lead to imbalance and various other things. So this particular client had made a lot of progress. They'd already quit smoking and they were still vaping but had no nicotine in the vape. So there was no nicotine addiction, but it can feel like a placebo effect if you're used to doing something and it feels like it might help. And that leads to sometimes habits, like quite often if people pick at something or chew a fingernail, there was one point in their life that it helped. So the brain makes the false evaluation of, well, if it keeps doing that, it's going to help again. So in this, you're going to hear a couple of things. One, there are many peer-reviewed studies that have looked at autoimmune issues like fibromyalgia and see that the onset normally happens around a time of trauma. And that trauma could be a bereavement, it could be an accident, it could be something distressing. So you're going to hear an element of regression to that point, but with a different meaning, a meaning of seeing it as a very natural thing rather than a distressing thing, and then playing that timeline out. There's also an emphasis on progress. One of the things that can amplify fibromyalgia is a high processed diet, particularly refined carbohydrates. So there's an element here of perceiving that to be a slow-working poison that has more impact on someone that has fibromyalgia. So there's certain things here which are evidence-based approaches to fibromyalgia. Not to say that it cures it, but what most people with fibromyalgia would want is to reduce the symptoms. And by reducing the symptoms, by making choices that feel empowering and where you can notice progress. So if you're listening to this and you have fibromyalgia or maybe a different autoimmune issue, or maybe you just want to kind of be less dependent on refined carbohydrates and snacks because you feel that that is draining your energy or, affecting the quality of your life, this session may be useful. It was created for an individual with very specific situations. So if you feel like you would benefit from something a bit more bespoke, then there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a free consultation call. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just feel a release and a relief of any tension, stress, or worries. Just feel it leave your body as you breathe out. That's it. Loosen the muscles around your jaw, around your eyes. That's it. As you loosen those muscles, notice the relaxation spreading to your neck and your shoulders. The deeper you breathe, the deeper relaxed you become. Feel your eyelids getting heavier and heavier. That's it. And just imagine a wave of relaxation melting away any and all tension, taking you to a wonderful place of calmness, deep inner calmness. As you breathe in through your nose, imagine you're breathing in a bright, white, healing light. As you imagine breathing in that bright, white, healing light, almost like it's glowing, imagine that it's healing any damage in your lungs. But also imagine that your heart is taking that healing white light from your lungs to every cell in your body, just as it does with oxygen. But imagine there is intelligence to this healing white light. It is seeking out any cells that have inflammation. Maybe there's been a time in the past where you've sprained an ankle, starts to swell. And when you put something cold on it, it reduces the swelling. I want you to imagine this healing white light is doing the same thing at a cellular level. Just easing, melting away any inflammation. Just feel that your cells are changing. As you breathe in and breathe out, continue to breathe in that bright white healing light, but as you breathe out, see a grey, darker, almost like a cloud of smoke representing any tension, any worries, any fears. Feel that what you're releasing is leaving your body as more of that healing goes in. I want you to consider that sometimes the body gets itself into a place of hypervigilance, preparing, sometimes as a result of something traumatic. Some people call an autoimmune issue an overreaction. Sometimes it's too many of those white blood cells. So I want your imagination to take you back in time, this time as an observer, to perhaps a catalyst of any trauma that might have led to your biology, physiology, neurology being on red alert all the time. Drift back to that moment, but this time watch it as an observer. See yourself in perhaps a movie, understanding entirely the level of impact. As you breathe in and breathe out, sometimes we don't really question our own mortality until we lose someone important. a good reason for the body to be on red alert is to make the evaluation that our very life is at risk. But I wonder, what if a seed of an idea was planted in a moment in time that led to that hypervigilance, which is causing too much of that cortisol, too much of that adrenaline, too much of that hypervigilance and red alert thinking that would lead to low energy, aches and pains. I want you to go back to a moment, and instead of observing it as being traumatic or a cause of grief or loss, this time I want you to go back to that same moment and see it as a natural part of life. We are born, we live, and we die. Future generations take the baton and move forward. And if you're able to go back to a moment and see something that was traumatic and now see it through the perception of being natural, understandable, I want you to see it as necessary. Our existence wouldn't make sense if we were all immortal. So as you see it as natural and necessary, inevitable, let me know by nodding your head. And then imagine stepping into that younger version of you, perhaps 10 years or so. And imagine experiencing the news for the very first time. Either observe something, hearing something, seeing something. Only this time, perceive it to be a natural transition. Normal, natural. And then I want you to go back. Perhaps a few months, even a year, to someone important in your life and to make a promise to them. Make a promise to them to be a better man. And if your unconscious agrees that that is a noble goal, a winnable goal, let me know by nodding your head. And then fast forward through time and imagine seeing what your life would look like if by being better, it just meant tiny incremental progress. I want you to observe a version of you that is replacing those savory carbohydrate snacks, maybe even the sweet ones. I want you to see crisps, sandwiches, bread and biscuits being replaced with fresh natural foods, berries, yogurt, good quality meats, the occasional vegetables. And if you can make the observation that that would be an improvement that would make your life better, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to also observe that as you do that, you can observe you with more mobility, more energy, more activity, which creates a chain reaction. When you feel with more energy, you can accomplish more, be more active and do more, which in turn makes other people happy. Their happiness makes you more happy, and you're inspired to do more. When you eat well, you become better, and when you become better, you can do better. I want you to see a version of you that is considerate to the people you love the most. in whichever way being considerate means. The ultimate way to be considerate is to think of what is important to them and how can you do something that recognizes that importance. So allow your mind to show you some scenarios of things you can do for the people you care for and love the most that demonstrate that you've identified what's important to them and take little steps, incremental steps, to be more and more kind, considerate. And the ultimate form of consideration is where you're willing to do something that is a sacrifice for you but beneficial for someone else. Perhaps in your life, those are moments of deep pride. Maybe it was working long hours, working hard to pay the bills, put a roof over someone's head. I want you to feel that perhaps that is also a way for you to feel better. As you breathe in and breathe out, observe. Observe a version of you that has already made so much progress. Big changes to improve your health. And that what you're now observing is just a continuation of that progress. You're already moving in the right direction. This just takes that direction even further. And perhaps you can imagine seeing yourself 2 months, 3 months, 4 months from now. 3 or 4 months of changing your relationship with certain foods and certain habits. And notice that as the habits change, you seem to have more energy, more vitality, smiling more, laughing more, accomplishing more, being more active, seeming stronger and healthier and fitter. Rome wasn't built in a day. So I want you to see that the goal here isn't to change everything, but to change small things as many victories that then lead to the foundation of the next victory. See yourself as climbing a staircase, which each victory is just one more step in the right direction. And if you can see that future, a future where you have an identity of being a better man, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Step into that identity, free of certain habits, feeling that you are in a healthier, more vibrant body. You can't change everything overnight, but you can change one thing today and something else tomorrow. And that builds more momentum to change something else the day after. You are building a healthier future, one day at a time. Breathe in and breathe out, still breathing in that healing white light, feeling your body is getting healthier. Inflammation is reducing that inflammation. Any cravings for refined carbohydrates, you will now see them as poison. Low dose poison that you don't need or want anymore. That's it. Breathing in, breathing out as you return to the present with a clear idea of one small thing you can do today and one small thing you can do tomorrow. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect fully into the present moment, returning to the here and now, listening to my voice as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling alert, confident, and with energy, starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.